Genesis are going to be very strongly represented.
And it's John Mould sprinting up the finishing straight. Second here last year. The Welsh rider wanting to try and take the win here in Aberystwyth.
Well, he's applying the pressure because he realises that the group are boring down on him behind and he doesn't want their company. So look at this for an injection of pace now. Mould it is out of the saddle, gritting his teeth and trying to keep the four clear. But it's to no avail. They're getting closer and closer and they're going to get the company very, very shortly. They're breathing down their neck.
And it's NFTO that are bringing it all back together. Nice to see a couple of the pedal heaven riders in towards the front of this group. Also, you can just see in the blue and the green sleeves, Sports Grub Kyoto.
We are moving into the closing stages now, and the group behind, here it is. They'll be sprinting for the minor places, and the front group, you can see, are going to link up behind. Now we're going to be in with a problem here. We got the camera motorbike enveloped between the two of them.
And the other problem, Hugh, is this group is going to catch this back group. Not only is the camera bike in there, but it's going to cause a little confusion. But still at the front, you can just see a lot of the orange helmets from Madison Genesis.
And Tom Stewart, who's been very active throughout the whole of the night, he's just clinging to the back of this front group, but the gap between them is marginal. They're going to come back together.
Tobin Horton at the front for Madison Genesis, Ed Clancy at JLT Condor. And then you've got the white jersey of John Mould. Really wants to try and win the individual round here.
Well, you can see the problem here now. 4 laps left, so that group, the second group, will be sprinting for the line next time, and then they'll be pulled off the course.
So Tobin Horton still at the front, just behind the TV motorbike. This is the almost lap group with some of the Stally Primal riders, Rally JAC, so not a good night for many of these teams.
But you can see the problem here for the front group. Tobin Horton leading Ed Clancy, and they have got to get past the peloton.
Yeah, it's not an easy finish here in Aberystwyth because so much damage has been done because of this course, because of the slippery roads, and many of these riders will have to be careful and watch their way around this circuit.
Well, the bike handling technique is something to be admired as Tobin Horton once again brings the front group down onto the promenade. And you can just see Steele Van Hoff there in the National Australian Criterium jersey. He's about 5 back. He really is having a hard baptism in this form of British Criterium racing, which is probably the hardest in the world, as they swing once again around the right-hander. Clancy in second position as Tobin Horton leads them out of the bend.
Well, Madison Genesis do have 5 riders in this front group of about 16 riders, and this is why they're riding on the front. They know the team competition is pretty much in the bag for them here at Aberystwyth, the third round of the Tour Series, but they have to start thinking about a potential winning individual to top it off.
Well, they had the lead in the team competition snatched away from them at the end of the hill climb when One Pro Cycling went back to the top of the table. That's why they're wearing the white and red jerseys, but now they're out to try and get it back. Coming up to the line, 3 to go for the leading group.
And a big reaction now from Tom Stewart from Madison Genesis in that points leaders jersey. He wants to get to the front, he wants to get past these back markers, and he wants to try and bring the individual, not only the team title here in Aberystwyth. You just see the confusion, but just look at who's tracking him now. Ed Clancy, the very experienced rider for JLT Condor, and he's on him straight away.
And they're being given a clear path, I think, down the outside now. They are sweeping through, well, not all of them, but we've got 2 of the key players that are going away here. That's Stewart and Clancy.
A couple of riders putting their hand up, trying to wave the front riders through. A lot of confusion there, but in the confusion, Tom Stewart went, Ed Clancy went with them, and it did look as if John Mould, just in the Pelazumi white and red jersey, trying to come across the gap, but a big reaction from Northey to try and shut it all down.
Well, you can see him shaking his head. He's saying, this is absolutely unbelievable. I can't get past the peloton, but now he has found a way through. It's all about threading the needle here, isn't it?
It is. It's sorted itself out, so the front group has now distanced the group they've just left behind and lapped, and it's still Tom Stewart resplendent in that points leaders jersey. Ed Clancy looking behind, John Mould looking for something from the side of the road from his sports director to see what he should do.
There's around about 16 riders actually in this front group, and then the peloton behind are going to be sprinting now for the minor places when they come up the finishing funnel. 2 to go then for the leading posse of riders, but it's very, very important for that group behind that they maintain the pace and they sprint for the time and positions, because those times will be added to all their other team members to see where they finish.
Well, that was the finish of the group that was just lapped here. Christian House just coming across the line, so very important to get as much time as possible. This is a team race. John Mould having a word with Tom Stewart. He's not happy about something. He wants to stay upright on this course, and he wants to try and get the win here.
So the back markers have now been taken off the circuit, and it's all down to this group. And just speculating on the sprinters here, obviously Ed Clancy is the quickest, and he's already got 2 wins on this circuit under his belt, looking for a third. But I'm just wondering if anybody's going to try and jump clear. John Mould, of course, is a man that specialises with that kind of finish.
Well, Madison Genesis and the orange helmets have got strength and numbers in this small group, but just look, every time they go on the attack, this time it's Cronshaw goes on the attack, Ed Clancy straight onto the wheel. Ed Clancy really wants his 3rd win here in Aberystwyth in the Tour Series history.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, and it is Madison Genesis at the front that are beginning to turn the screw here and put the rest under pressure.
And NFTO also have 4 riders in this front group. They are thinking of the individual one. It's still Cronshaw leading the way, Madison Genesis with 5 riders. And One Pro Cycling, the series leaders, there are only 2 white and red jerseys there, so it does look as if Madison Genesis will be winning the team title here in Aberystwyth, but the individual still up for grabs.
So Cronshaw, the 26-year-old, brings them up to the line. They're into the final lap now, and it's Cronshaw burying himself at the front, trying to stretch out the legs of Clancy, but Clancy's got the measure of the effort by Cronshaw.
Well, they have to keep the pressure on because they've got one of the fastest riders in the Tour Series history, and that's Ed Clancy sitting in 2nd place there with the yellow helmet. Just coming up the inside, the points leader Tom Stewart, and constant attacks from Madison Genesis. They really want to take the team title and the individual here.
Good cornering technique there by the Yorkshireman Stewart. He really did apply pressure, and he thought by going to the front he could distance himself from Clancy, but Clancy saw the danger and he's right onto it, and now he's trying to close down onto Stewart. What a finish this is going to be.
Couple of slippery corners still to come. Just hope they stay upright, but Tom Stewart leading the way, Clancy right behind. Reaction from John Mould, Johnny McAvoy also in there, so just fingers crossed everybody stays upright and we have a clean finish.
So Clancy looking for his 3rd win in Aberystwyth, and if he gets it, that would take his total in the Tour history to 7 individual top podium positions. 2 proud Yorkshiremen then at the front of the contest, and John Mould, a Welshman, coming up then to join with them.
So it's positioning that's going to count. The experienced man is Ed Clancy. He comes up to the inside and takes the front with just this last corner.
Perfect timing there by Clancy. That's the pinch point. He nipped down the inside at the right time, and here he comes, burying himself. Clancy then going clear of the rest to get the victory. Stewart 2nd and Mould finishing 3rd. But at the end, it was all about Clancy. And look at that, he does a speedway finish as well as he waits for the arrival of the rest.
Well, he certainly is the king of Aberystwyth. 3 wins in this town, and just see the effort it was put in to deliver that 3rd win.
But look at that, Stewart, man of the match for me, was on the attack all night, and those 4 points in the final sprint will mean he has once again had a cracking night in the competition of the Chain Reaction Cycles points jersey. Confirmed, Clancy wins on the night, tying with Stewart, but what it means is Tom Stewart retains the overall lead.
Came to the last lap. I just about hung on, nearly overdid it on the last corner, but I was excited to get a win. It hasn't been a great year for us so far, and this is my 1st win this year for myself, so yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Why Aberystwyth? It's windy, it's technical, it's not a straight-out time trial.
I quite like the technical side. I won't say I'm the best around corners, but I'm okay most of the time. And it's just flat, you know. I'm a big heavy track rider compared to a lot of these road guys, and as soon as it goes uphill, I'm carrying another 7-8 kilos of muscle, and I'm fat. So the flatter the better, really, for a guy like me.
Listen, if you're fat, there's no hope for the rest of us. Thank you very much. Well done.
All right, cheers, Joe. Thanks, Dan.
Clear blue water in the battle for the almost blue jersey. Tom Stewart opening up a 7-point lead over Morgan Kanitsky. 3 other Madison Genesis riders are in that top 10. So it's hardly surprising to see Roger Hammond's team back on top of the Tour Series standings as the game of leapfrog with One Pro Cycling continues.
Yeah, that's what we want. You know, we want a healthy race, so that's great. We want to enjoy that as well. Obviously, we want to win, but we want to fight along the way. And a lot of the other teams are getting involved as well. And you know, Pedal Heaven deserve a mention, and so it's all to play for still.
What about Ed Clancy tonight? He's super strong, isn't he?
He's such a talented rider. Obviously, everyone knows that, but he's really he's very clever and he's got great bike handling skills. So tonight suited him well, and as soon as he came around with that last corner, obviously I knew that was it. But I've got to be happy to finish second to him, I suppose. Yeah.
So a strong ride from Ed Clancy and a great team performance from Madison Genesis, and well, a great reception for you, Griff, here in your hometown. Ed Clancy was saying when he saw the rain come down just at the start of that race, his heart sank, because it does make for quite difficult and tricky conditions out there, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. For myself, it's mixed, you know, because I do know the corners well, and it doesn't bother me too much. It's a shame for the crowd. You know, it would have been nice if they'd been staying dry, but I still heard my name enough around the course. But that's the way it is, isn't it?
You take confidence from this. You were able to stay up there. You've got the legs. It's a long Tour Series, but it gives you confidence going forward.
Yeah, it gives me confidence that I'm able to get to that front group, especially when you've got rounds that are so physical, like Durham next week. Hopefully we'll be able to make an impression there.
Well, best of luck to you in Pedal Heaven and the rest of the Tour Series, which of course rolls into Scotland next. We're up to Motherwell. Ned Bolting will be back for that one. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.